On question number 4, I need to first get this equation into the correct form so that I can read the information and draw my ellipse. And I do that by completing the square. But before we can complete the square, we need to organize the terms. So I want to put the x squared next to the x and then leave a space, and then put the y squared next to the y and then leave a space, and then move the constant to the other side. Okay, so to complete the square, we are not allowed to have coefficients next to the square terms. So I need to factor out these leading terms so that we can complete the square. So factor out the leading terms. So I'm going to factor out a 9 out of my x's, and that'll leave me with x squared minus 6x, and then I'm going to put a space, close the parentheses, and I want to factor out a 4 out of my y's. Again, leave a space, close parentheses, and then negative 49. Okay, so to complete the square, we need to take half of the x term. So half of negative 6 is negative 3. And I'm writing it down because I will see that number again. But I first need to square it. So if you square negative 3, you get 9. And that's what I want to add here. But I do need to keep this legal. So I'm actually not going to add 9 to the other side. I'm actually going to add 81. And the reason for that is when I'm putting this plus 9 here, that 9 is actually being multiplied by this 9. So while it looks like I'm adding 9, I'm actually adding 81. So to keep that legal, you need to add 81. Okay, then I need to complete the square over here, and half of negative 2 is negative 1, and if you square that, then you get positive 1. So I put a plus 1 here, but to keep this legal, I actually need to put a plus 4 over here because this 4 is being multiplied by this plus 1. Okay, so if I continue with completing the square, this is going to be 9 times x, and it's going to be a minus 3. So this factors as a perfect square trinomial, and that's why we see this number again. Plus 4 times y minus 1 squared, and this will be equal to 36. So we're almost there, but this must be a 1. So I need to divide by 36. And that'll make this x minus 3 squared over 4 when you reduce this fraction, plus y minus 1 squared over 9 is equal to 1. Now it's in the form that we want. So now we can start reading our information from this. So the center will be 3, 1. The horizontal distance will be 2. and the vertical distance will be 3. So if I graph this, my center's here at 3, 1, and then my horizontal distance is 2. So I need to go 2 to the right, 2 to the left. My vertical distance is 3, so I need to go up 3 and down 3. So this is my ellipse, and the vertical distance is longer this time, so that's going to be my major axis. So that is a distance of 6, and if you wanted to figure it out on the side, it would technically be 2 times 3 is equal to 6. So you're multiplying this by 2, but if you just want to look at the picture, that's easier. And the minor axis is 4, but technically you're taking the 2 times 2. So the vertices are on the ends of the major axis, and the covertices are on the ends of the minor axis. So my vertices will be 3, 4, 3, negative 2, and my covertices will be 1, 1, and 5, 1. So lastly, I need to find my foci. So c is equal to the square root of b squared minus a squared. So c is equal to the square root of 9 minus 4. C is equal to the square root of 5. So my two foci are 3, 1 plus square root of 5 and 3, 1 minus square root of 5. So if you type those in, so these are the exact answers. If you type those in on the calculator, you get 3.236 and negative 0.73. So they don't have to be perfect. Oops, I typed it in wrong. 1 minus square root of 5, negative 1.236. Sorry about that. So there's one, and there's the other. So when you graph those, it doesn't have to be perfect, as long as it's close. And that'll be our answer.